Armored Bear Productions. Welcome to Not Safe for Wizards, an actual play 5th edition D&D podcast. Get down to business.
We were going to meet the dude's dad.
Right. So last session, the intrepid group took care of some off time activities. You guys were made aware of the new young lordling in town.
Thistlespires.
The Thistlespire, Galla Thistlespire. And just for correction, realizing that a 17-year-old elf is like a 5-year-old. We're going to say he's like 85, so he's kind of closer to being 100.
17? I said 70.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
So a little retconning, little whatever. So you had heard about this. Spike had also picked up a wanted poster for Benedict, leader of the Brotherhood of the Forest. Our Brothers of the Forest.
And she's off researching that.
Yeah. Well, actually, so one of the things I wanted to talk about was we have a pretty big group, but I'm willing to run with like 5 people.
Okay.
Maybe lower, but it depends on which characters are there.
Mm-hmm. Do a night on the town.
The thought I have is kind of what we did with the last game, where the character's kind of there, but in the background. So that way we don't have to have, like, if you guys do something tonight, introducing Spike back in isn't weird and kludgy.
Isn't a whole thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Or doesn't beg your imagination.
So, unfortunately, the way her class is lined up, I'm not sure if how much more we're going to see her.
Okay.
If
we can talk about that after.
Yeah, if things get a little bit slower, I think she'll come back.
Okay.
But we might not see her until May again.
Okay. Not a problem. Although we will miss her. But school comes first, so.
Plus, it gives me an opportunity to have weird conversations with her character that she can't respond to.
I think that's what we're all thinking.
When she gets back, I'll be like, "You converted. You're now a follower of Edar."
She just never responds to you.
It's kind of.
Hey, Spike, do you want to join my church? If you don't answer, I'm going to take that as a yes.
And I will respond, she glowers at you menacingly.
I was going to say, I think DM Fiat...
Not enough.
DM Fiat enters in and, she pokes you in the eye with her quarterstaff.
Ow! Why? Always damage to the head.
If you remembered your own dice, you wouldn't be at my mercy.
Alright, so...
What are we doing?
Hold on.
We were going to meet...
Have we been recording all this time?
I just started.
Oh, okay.
We're going to meet Lord... Oh, I gave her dice.
Okay.
He's just taking them back.
No, I was playing with the D4s. Oh. I'm sorry, Kevin.
Okay, so that evening, someone walked Galla back to the the apartments, whatever that he's staying at. So you kind of have a knowledge of where you're going the next day. So.
Yep, I had done that.
Yep. So that leads us to where you guys were just kind of hanging out in the Crown and Scepter for the night, I believe.
Trying to get Pete's head out of his helmet.
I think we got that done at the end.
We figured out it was a screw top.
Something about the Marsh Island needs clearing?
Yeah, so that was his
family's
the family
property.
Yeah, the Thistlespire family is assuming the properties and seat of the Marsh family that was excoriated by the King of Grimsby due to taking a opposite side from the whole idea of being peaceful instead of being imperial. So that's where we left off. You guys are hanging out.
Side
Maybe
note, I
another
didn't
dice.
come back to the Crown and Scepter because I remember I had gone to market with Denna,
Mm-hmm.
and then I went
that might be missing
to my parents' house.
Okay, so you didn't stay. So after, but
I figured I would come back to the Crown and Scepter in the morning.
Okay, so after they popped your helmet off in the Crown and Scepter,
yes, that happened. And then we left because she wanted to
escort the.
sell her things, and I escorted her to the market.
That was the previous section.
Was it?
When things ended
Yeah,
last
that
time.
was before we met Thistlespire
Yeah.
and saved him
Oh.
from the ruffians
Yeah.
in the street.
Oh, that's right. So I
And
did
you
come
got your
back.
head
at
impacted.
some point.
Yeah.
But,
Listen,
You
I
got
know
your
the
head
I know what the problem is. I've
Again.
critted you.
I don't know
couple
where
times
I
now.
am anymore.
One too many hits in the head.
So this being the next day, I mean, moving off on this side quest helps ensure rent money, befriend local lord, and distracts me from the thing I really don't want to have to do that I have to do. So I say, hey guys, we should get down to business and go take care of this.
Sounds good to me.
Well, I was all
Okay.
planning to go meet with him.
Church time it is.
Let's go.
Oh,
Yes,
That's
let's
not-
go.
right? We're going to
No.
morning service?
Yeah.
Right?
No.
That not.
No, we're coming to corrupt you with money and greed.
Good
Let's go.
deeds, call.
Well, money makes the church grow. So let's go.
Let's go, money, greed, go. Let's go.
But how does it help that the order you belong to, which is definitely not a cult?
Not a cult. Not a cult. But somebody does have to fund our inquisition, our helpful questionings that we do to small local villages. So it's
We
not
need
great.
money to spread that life at the whorehouse. Let's go.
Tithing.
We're going.
Okay,
We're going to go.
so as you guys travel Grimsby, you guys have been staying in the Crown Scepter is in a pretty decent section of the town. But as you move through, you definitely kind of notice the difference. The houses and shops in this district are, they're well maintained, but they've been erected and yeah. They've been erected in a haphazard manner. Not a lot of thought has been put into how many buildings next to each other is too many, and as you pass through one of the gates that leads you into the noble district, things become very evident that there's actually some planning being done here. The two are more like small palaces. Each of them has a 10-foot double gate with some sort of sentry at it. Through the gate, you're able to see an open courtyard with fountains and all sorts of beautiful vegetation. Maybe a statue of Adar,
As there should be.
or a statue of to Akenna, the goddess of life.
Wow. I bet they have indoor plumbing. We should
Bet you
ask.
there's
You want
one
to
of
ask? I
those
could
here.
knock on the door and we could ask. I wonder how many of them
Betcha.
have indoor plumbing.
There is. We're
Does
gonna
anybody
have
Oh, I
have to pee?
bet you there's
We
one
we,
here.
we have things to do.
You
Bet you there's one here.
you get
Maybe they're
through
hiding it.
I know.
you get through the
Can't trust these people.
travel down the neighborhoods, and you're able to you find the townhouse formerly that belonging to Lord Marsh. There's actually workers out at the moment, kind of repainting over the gate in the crest of the Thistlespires, which is a green shield with a golden spire, and off the side of the spires are two thistle heads. Literally, Thistlespires.
I'm sorry.
Thanks.
What I
The
heard was
visual.
there's a long shaft up the middle with two round things on the bottom.
Four round things off the side.
I'm sorry.
That's
Twenty
actually
side.
more impressive.
You lost me back when we were erecting things haphazardly.
I just can't wait till we find a pinnace.
Here we go.
There'll be no
Alright.
penises.
Shedding.
There's a pinnace right here on the sign.
It's a spire.
Schooner is a sailboat.
Or Deanna shedding.
All right.
So, as you near the gate, there are two obvious house guards. They are dressed in a forest green livery. Over the left side of their chest is a small version of the Thistlespire.
We're here to see Lord Thistlespire.
Do you guys have indoor
We're
plumbing?
expected.
You say thistle. Do you mean the plant thistle?
Yes.
The thistle.
That's a thistle.
The thistle.
Yeah.
It's bulbous.
Yeah, and also kind of furry.
I don't know
Purple.
plants. I didn't know it was a plant.
Bulbous and purple.
Helmet
It's
on.
been a long time.
Doing my best to be as intimidating as possible as usual.
The
Now you look scary.
We're expected.
Really, really
oh
scary.
yes. We Lord Thistlespire is waiting for you. They open the gates up, and definitely inside as you walk. You walk through the portico into the central courtyard. There is, of course, a beautiful fountain with a version of a Kenna, water coming out of both of her hands, kind of spilling down.
See, they do have indoor plumbing.
You should have known better when I said we were expected. No one expects the Inquisition.
That's only you, honey.
They got a Vixus under there. They got themselves a Vixus, I'm telling you.
How do you know? Where did you hear that?
That's rude. I bet they pay their rent.
So,
No one's blaming me for this train.
so
Wait, there's a train that came out of nowhere.
They do that apparently.
It's the bright line.
you know those things went wild. They are just
Anywhere they can get you anywhere.
yeah. The delicate fruit trees that are in the courtyard are wrapped. Are in the process of being wrapped because winter is definitely on its way.
Projection on those thistles.
Is
The
there
season
no
after
fruit
fall
trees?
is
There's no
coming.
fruit on the
There's
tree.
no
The
fruit
season
on
after fall is approaching.
Yes. And it's going to be a lengthier one than is normally expected.
You know nothing, Orion.
That's Orion Frozen Waterfall to you.
I'm adding it. It's canon now.
That's it. You have a last name.
You already have
I
one.
have a last
Well,
name,
you have two
and
now.
it's not that.
He has,
It is now.
Orion of the Frozen Waterfall.
I wrote it down.
It's on his paper.
Must be true.
Yeah, absolutely. So, another elf. The guards at the door were definitely elves. Another elf dressed a little warmer than one might be considering. Sort of, like when it gets 60 down here. Yeah.
Found the Floridian elf. Nice Uggs.
Just gonna make the odd comment. Damn it. You beat me
Definitely
to
has
it.
furry boots. Definitely he is wearing some furry boots.
Drinking a pumpkin spice.
I was gonna say I smell pumpkin.
It's pumpkin tea.
Ew.
And it's a half soy. I don't know.
Some half soy bullshit.
Yeah. Unless
Alright.
the soy producers of America want to sponsor us, and then we love soy.
Soy. That's our slogan.
Soy.
Almond milk. Wait. Almond milk. Almond breeze or silk. I don't care
It's
which
what's
one.
for dinner.
Why can't we just call it nut juice?
You know how expensive
Exactly.
that
It
shit
is nut juice.
really needs to
Because
be
there's
nut
no
juice.
almond tit. No
Ladies and
comes
gentlemen,
from a
this has
tit.
been Short Attention Span Theater.
There's already a drink called nut juice,
I mean,
and
this is
it's not what you think.
Important wisdom that we're imparting upon our listeners.
Really?
Yes,
It's
we,
important.
So the
we're on
It's
ball
educational.
the Chamberlain comes out. Like I said, he's dressed warm. More or less, most elves live further south and are
It's alright, it's alright.
are
Just caught my skin.
this is starting to get to be cold for them, and you guys have barely had even any flurries. So been a couple frosts, but yeah,
They're so cute wrapped up in all their furs.
he definitely has he has on his woolen tunic, and he has all this stuff, and then he has the fur.
So he looks like a munchkin. When you know munchkin, one of those people that live at Oz, is he gonna make us the wizard's not in?
No, not quite. He's
No, the wizard told us.
Who rang that bell?
Yeah, those guys.
so no, but he's also clean shaven, as elves don't generally grow facial hair.
Poor
So.
babies.
Okay.
So he comes up, and from the look of him, he's probably middle age for an elf. He's got some lines in his face. His hair is cut in a very severe short cut, which you see he's got this little wool hat with like a fur trim.
I was wondering how fancy his hat is because I feel like that's definitely
Oh yeah.
directly related to status.
Oh yeah, he's
Socks. If somebody has a $100 pair of socks on, you know they're fucking rich.
Especially if they're wearing them on their head as a hat.
That's how he keeps his ears warm.
Especially as an elf. Just right over those ears.
what's Santa putting in his stocking?
Oh boy. Okay.
Ears.
So, hi.
You are the group that young Lord Galla has recommended.
That we are.
Wait, who's
Greetings.
This
By
Lord Pallan,
recommending,
or
you
is
mean
it-
we saved
the
his butt?
Chamberlain.
Yep.
Chamberlain.
Yeah, we saved his life.
Basically master of the house. He's the guy who manages all the day-to-day, the
It's
cleaners
Lord
and
here.
cooks and everything.
Oh yes. Lord Thistlespire is in. I'm just assessing whether or not you are.
I do believe that we are expected.
No, you
This
are.
is completely unnecessary. Please proceed.
I just wanted to make sure that you were not hangers-on or whatnot that Galla may have run into, as he is young and naive.
We
With
look
all due
like
respect,
hangers-on.
sir, and I understand the importance of this, young Galla is not dead or bleeding because of us. We would like to move on.
Yes.
He could be rotting in the streets.
If
You
those
wouldn't
pirates
even
had
know
him
it.
From the
dead
dead
to
thanks
rights.
to me.
You'd still be in your little castle here.
We're a very humble group.
Rest assured, if the
She's just impressed by the indoor plumbing.
church catches wind that you're up to something here, it could go very badly.
Which church?
It wouldn't. No, they wouldn't go badly.
The church.
Oh, Goddess
See-
Hannah?
No. Seat
Or
spillers.
Tiago? Or
It's
They-
okay.
It's just the
Preach
seat
it from my
spillers. It's okay. Let's move on.
It's alright. We'll
I've
find
seen
that.
things.
We'll find it.
Bad things.
Find it.
So he brings
Send
you
it over
in,
you.
Yeah, we'll find it.
he brings you into the to what would be the great room. Although being that the townhouse is still kind of constrained for size, it's not as great as like you would expect them to say like a
It's a
castle.
mediocre.
This is our great. This is our pretty good.
This
It's
is
all
our
right.
better room. It's our better room.
Welcome to our
are
above
there like a
average
lot of
room.
people around?
It's an excellent room. Okay, excellent.
It's a very fine room.
Yes.
It looks huge.
Is there like a nice,
The biggest room.
like a not a nice
It's bigger than
size?
every other room by a factor of 17. What does that mean? What are we comparing?
Don't
it to?
look at the stonework. It wasn't made by Russia.
And I know a good room. I've stayed in a lot of rooms. I've seen so many rooms.
It's not like those shitholes in town.
Nothing in the room is gold plated, so it definitely would fail that.
Fake room. Sad.
Very sad.
Wait, is it illusionist?
So,
I love you, jackasses.
yeah, you guys don't have to listen through it like a second and third time.
Oh God.
We don't get the joy, you mean?
I mean, we
Just
just
call
assume
it
it all goes in there
joy,
because it's all
man.
gold.
Yeah.
A little got taken out. While I was taking care of my issue from last time, that kind of got cut.
I'm
That
sure
whole
this
75
aside is going
minutes
to get
sequence
cut.
Oh no, this is staying in.
Hey, future Joe, you heard yourself. You fucking promised. Moving on.
So we're in the
Future
room.
Joe is very appreciative of past Mark. The compliment last time was, yeah. So you walk in, and Galla is standing there with also an older elf. He, however, wears his hair in a very long braid. Probably goes down to like the middle of his back. His hair is kind of it's blonde going towards silver, which denotes they're of the high elf group.
Stuck up snog elves.
And not so much just some snog elves. They're just they're
Could be a silver dragon in the sky.
It's just rich, bitch.
where the wood elves are, more on the less civilized side, the high elves.
We found the preppy elves. I get it.
Yeah.
And I was
They're
sure
the
that
ones
you'd have to
that
cut it
make
down
parties.
because of our
Yes.
racism, not yours.
What?
Nothing.
Yeah.
What was that?
You'll hear it on the tape later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's save that surprise.
So,
Not all elves.
Galla's hair is
I
about
bet you some
down
of his
to his
best friends were
shoulder.
wood elves.
And it's also his hair is more golden than silver. And you look over and you see Galla's mother there, and it's clear she's not a high elf.
Told you.
She has a light brown hair.
She's a brown. He
So
married.
she's like a wood
Wow.
elf or something. Ooh.
Scandalous.
Sexy.
Is she a wood elf?
She is a wood elf.
Told you some of his best friends were wood elves.
Approach. Curtsy. Thank you for having us.
I
Unknowing
awkwardly
lady.
try to imitate
I'm
Emma.
wearing scale mail. I'm not curtsying
It's
for
not
nobody.
pretty, but I'm gonna try.
And that 3 feet tall.
It's like a little bob. Just
Lord Thistlespire. There's no need for that. While I may be a lord now, up until a few months ago, I was just a commoner as you are. Wasn't for the appreciation of our king. I would not hold this station. So please,
baby.
please do not feel the need to go on like some members of the nobility would have you engage.
For what it's worth. Just as a point of note, Orion has just stood there, unmoving the entire time.
Also,
Since entering the room and stopping his forward motion, he has not moved.
Please, come. Galla, upon returning last night, explained to me that you had saved him from young...
Barrow.
pause to look at notes.
Lord Barrow.
Yeah, young... Well, he is not quite Lord Barrow. That's his Lord John's son, Lance.
Lamb.
He looked like a lamb.
He did look like
He
Lance
was
is a
laying there
jerk.
on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, he broke like one too.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like a lamb.
Lance is the Barrow family has been one of the many who have opposed our rise in station, especially as they were somewhat connected to the Marsh family. I believe one of the Barrow ancestors married a Marsh daughter or something. But whatever, His Majesty has decided to raise us up and give us the holdings and titles that belong to Lord Marsh, which includes not only this fine townhouse, but Lord Marsh was his official title was Protector of the Harbor. That was his domain. The Marsh family was an ancient family in Grimsby, and they were responsible for the island that they occupy is the furthest out from the port, and thus is responsible for guarding the port. Unfortunately, the family was excoriated some 4 years ago now, and the island has not been... Well, as far as I know, the only inhabitants of the island are the folks who live in the fishing village on the north side. The family members departed, I assume, and any guards or foresters or whatever they may have had probably left with them. Not a lot of that information has been given to me, so I don't know what exactly happened. I know they were stripped of their nobility and they were ejected from their island and from this townhouse. I don't know much more than that.
Fair enough, but as young Gallo explained to us, what you would like us to do is basically make a survey of the land and make sure that it is clear of wildlife and any potential squatters or troublemakers.
More the wildlife can, natural wildlife.
Well, dangerous
theory.
wildlife, invasive.
Anything that seems dangerous. If there should happen to be any sort of infestation of things that polite society would not like to have on a beautiful island. I also would like to see like to see the would like to inform the village of the new lordship coming in.
Do you believe on the island there are those practicing in elements of evil? Because, before you answer, if you even suspect such a thing,
My friend has been drinking a little bit this morning.
we would be happy to make sure it's removed.
We are gonna remove it and just take care of it. It'll be all right.
I do not believe there are open practitioners of evil on the island. From what I
We've got
understand,
it all under hand.
the fishing village
Taken care
was.
This guy does not know how to read between the lines. I just say yes and get rid of that.
No,
Right,
I
so-
need the fishing village.
Exterminate.
I need
No,
the fishing village. So, no, definitely. Any
Right, exactly.
anything of a nature that we do not wish. From what I'm told, the island is a relatively good size, about 24 miles across, east to west, about 13 north to south.
Well, blessed will be he who aids those who aid Adar.
Okay, how much and how
Blessed
we
be
getting
thee.
there?
Indeed.
Well, first of all, I would like to give you a little something for what you did yesterday.
Cool.
Oh, yeah, we should be paid for
And
that shit.
He waves over, and the Chamberlain comes with a couple small satchels.
Oh, here comes the first of the satchels. The first man carrying the group of satchels, right? From the many men who will be coming with satchels. Oh, that's just one? Oh.
God, we're so
Okay.
fucking humble.
inside each satchel, you're handed each one, including Spike, who is here in the.
Oh,
I'll
we
hold
each get a
spikes.
satchel.
Yes,
Nice.
it's a little satchel.
Little satchel.
It's a bag.
It's a pouch.
It's a
Okay.
bag.
Okay.
I don't want to say bags. Come up with a thing full of bags or sacks because I
Swag
know.
bags, like
Yeah.
we're at like the Oscars and we get like an iPad.
Yeah.
No, you get 10
they're all
gold pieces.
Joe.
crown,
You
they're all
get 10
crown
gold
royal
pieces.
bags.
Joe,
Yeah.
we're not complete and utter perverts. You could have said he comes up with an armful of sacks dangling loose between.
You can't even say that with a straight face.
So wait, all we
Are
got
the
was-
arms hairy? I just need to know, like, how big do the sacks look?
They're not
tried.
ogre size.
You tried to avoid
Okay,
that.
so they've been emptied and refilled recently.
They've been reused.
And now, if you could just get your scullery maid to come bring us beverages with her large jugs.
It's been a long week for us.
This is normal. Oh, don't.
I like how you try to make excuses.
Yeah, there's
Don't
not
do
an excuse for
No,
this.
no.
Because
Okay,
everyone
so
is going to be like
10
this.
gold
Now-
pieces are in the sack.
Stop lying to them.
sweets.
And how many jewels?
Family jewels in the sack.
Those are precious, okay? Those are precious family jewels. They
So
don't
there's
just
a
get
ruby?
any
What kind of sack is it?
of them. It's a
Burlap,
no. It's a leather.
flour.
Leather.
Does it
Woo, I
have
like leather.
belt loops?
So
It
your
does not. It
son's
has
life
a
is
long
worth
drawstring.
70 gold pieces.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
That's
That's
a lot of money.
It is.
Yeah.
That's
But not as much as
seriously a lot of
80
money.
gold pieces. Just say it.
But also was not previously negotiated, agreed upon. We did a good deed and we got rewarded.
Also,
That's
you do-
how karma works.
Also,
No.
you
No,
never
that's
get
not
back
right.
as
Doing
much as
good
you
is
think
awesome.
you're going
It's
to
its
get.
own
Oh,
reward.
Or anything.
Lord, thank
wait a
you.
minute. You also did get around to drinks.
But this gold is for the drink.
Joey did get around to
You
drink.
did get around to drinks. Also.
Yeah, one round.
You didn't even drink yours. So shut up.
It's expensive.
Yeah,
now.
because I'm not going to waste my time for one round.
Don't forget
Okay.
to tithe, ladies and gentlemen.
So,
I'm gonna start taking.
Okay.
I
So-
did it.
After that's all settled and the Chamberlain walks back out, kind of. There's a little snit, little huff, like, this is way too much money to be just handing out.
It's his job to be annoyed about money being spent.
Yeah. He definitely is on the.
He's going to be real pissed by the time we're done.
So
That's kind of around though.
So Lord Thistlespire. So as for the island, I was believing 25 gold pieces a person, plus honestly the house. As all I care about is when you guys come back and tell me that it is clear for me to move in, that walls and windows and doors are intact. I don't care about any of the... And roof as well. Roof is intact.
Of course.
Take note of this.
God
Intact.
damn it! I want the roof.
Not damaged in any way. So it is livable
I'm
that
not
I can
going
move
to
my
destroy
family
things
in.
in this game. That was the
I mean-
last game.
More often than not, my helmet's
With,
the only thing that's not intact by the time we're done.
With some due respect, of course, we will do our best effort to not allow any damage to occur while
Oh,
we're
no, I
there.
understand the damage has already been done in the past several years.
I was going to say it's been sitting there vacant, so it's probably got vines.
Yeah, no, I'm well
Trees.
aware.
So, quick out of character note: if we're gonna damage it, make it look old.
That was like that.
Throw some
It's okay to
cobwebs
burn
on
it down
Yeah.
if you dump some water and wet leaves on it after.
That mace-shaped hole in the wall was there.
Carry some
Well,
None
rust.
of us own a mace. I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
hear if you soak the walls in tea, it will give that an aged look.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the best way to do it
We
is
know
to
what we're
bake
doing.
it in
We're
an oven
professionals.
after layering some What is that potion called? Cocaine soda. That's
Cocaine
the
soda.
one.
You just carry, rusted swords. That way, any damage from our sword,
Yeah, look,
Okay.
there's elements of rust right in that. That can't be us.
Yeah, because CSI Grimsby is going to come out there and check it out.
I'll pay for them too.
So I'm totally down with 25 a person, but I think that needs to be the base because if there's things we gotta kill,
Plus expenses.
exactly, there needs to be expenses. We need transportation, and if there's stuff we
I
gotta
spell
kill, if I
components.
give you back the head as something big, we need to negotiate for
Like
that. Thank you
ghost
very
pirates.
much.
The halfling feast.
Because 25 a person to go clear out a couple wild animals is fine, but 25 a person to clear out a bandit hideout we accidentally stumble across is significantly less cost effective.
And let's not forget 10% for Adar.
That is
That's not happening.
not.
And
Yeah.
there could be
It's not for
zombie
them, they're
pirates.
unbelievable.
Trust me,
Could be
Adar
zombie
doesn't
pirates.
need it.
You don't know.
Adar
Could be.
doesn't need it.
Maybe
Adar
zombie
doesn't
pirates
care.
are...
Please, Lord Thistlespire, don't encourage
You
it.
may care. Adar doesn't.
I don't know. The harbor has not had its guardian, the protector, in several years.
So most likely there should be zombie pirates.
Some kind of zombie creatures wandering this island.
What I was going to
Like
say
zombie
is that
pirates.
Zombie pirates
any
not
goods
evil
or
to
whatever
be
you
pirates.
might run across in the house,
Zombie pirates are
anything that
corporeal.
may have belonged to the Marsh
Ghost pirates
family, any
Ghost
sort of objet
It's all a
d'art,
pirate and it's all
gems,
undead.
whatever. Feel free to help yourselves
And
too.
I'm
Oh, we
gonna
get to
make
loot.
it
Nice.
Yeah, I don't. I listen. I have some beautiful finery, as you can see, and the great room here is pretty well decorated in a very
This
gaudy,
guy telling
elven
us we
way.
can keep the furniture?
No, I don't know. With the expensive shit we can.
Look at this house I found.
He specifically said he cares about the house,
Not
not
what's in it.
I'm not carrying furniture out of a house.
If
But
we have
she
enough
wants
big
to,
enough boat, I'm
she
gonna.
can.
Yeah,
can't.
what the heck are we gonna carry? Like,
This guy's
Look at
really
this!
big into
Look
real
at this!
estate.
Look at this
Turn
couch!
it, turn it sideways.
Yeah.
Turn it, if you turn it sideways and then you push.
No, we're not doing this right.
This reminds me.
Listen, a little Febreze. This will be great. I mean, it's just
I didn't know
and
this
when
couch
are
was
we
going
gonna
to be
take it back
upstairs.
to our to our hideout at what the inn?
This reminds me when I ran Death House for a group, and they get to the first floor and they clear everything out, and they see expensive dining room table and stuff like that. They try to loot the furniture.
Yeah, what's
I would
that?
totally take the furniture if I was good furniture.
Yeah. I'm not saying
It's
we're
Death House.
going
You
to.
don't get cursed house's furniture.
Is it ye old IKEA? Can we just disassemble it? Take it in pieces?
However, the hex wrenches are very rare.
They're hexed wrenches.
Yeah. Only the warlock can use it.
What I call
We have a warlock.
I have
Good
shaky
news,
hands,
everyone.
So that ain't happening.
I go out adventuring, and all I get to do is sit here and take apart furniture.
I think
So
what
I think
need
what we're
to
coming
do-
down to is that we need to work out some sort of a negotiation to the effect of sort of the way servers are paid in restaurants. Yes, we'll accept tips being first access to what's in there and our choice, but there has to be a guaranteed floor. If we don't find anything there, we need to know that we are still going to be compensated for our risk of life and limb.
Well, there's the 25 gold pieces. I have, since you're a sizable group, I have access to two long ships.
And a pinnace.
No pinnace. Sorry.
Oh,
This guy's all sacks, no pinnace.
I sympathize.
And it's mightier.
White curse.
I hear the
the
great
long
wizard
ship?
Cialis can help with that.
When the mood is right.
How big are the long ships?
Lesser penance?
Oh, they're big, baby. They're big enough.
They better be.
Lord Cialis makes them bigger.
It's not the size of the longboats. It's
I hear he
the way they
make it
float
bigger. It just makes
in
them more likely to
channel.
sail.
Yeah, that's it.
it's how you use it.
Yeah, with Cialis on board, you can sail for hours.
So-
But
Not
if
more
it's
than
more than
4.
4, you should go see a cleric.
Or an apothecary.
We're gonna be
No,
the
they're
men
just
in the
going to
boat.
stick leeches on it and tell you to do cocaine about it.
Speaking of Will Wheaton. Stand by
I don't
me.
know what that meant.
Actually,
Wow.
you guys just need a.
Greg, I need a clarification here. Did Will Wheaton put leeches on his dong?
And stand by me.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're right.
See, I knew what you meant.
Good call.
I'm a little disturbed that you very specifically remembered that, though.
Yeah, I am too.
Love that
Also,
movie.
just on his leisure time. I think there was also a plotline of a Star Trek: The Next Generation episode,
No, that was Tribbles on his dick.
and that indeed is the trouble with Tribbles.
I'm gonna dehydrate trying to drink.
I know.
Wait.
I'm trying to keep this
Well,
going as
they
long
tried
as
to
possible every
reproduce-
time I see you raise your arm.
What?
What happens when they try to reproduce?
The Tribbles on his dick?
Yeah, is it like a
Threesome.
three-way?
Then orgy.
Acting ensign. I didn't even mean anything. I'm just.
Troubles on the dick are like hostels on the hill.
We love you, Mr. Wheaton. We swear.
Oh, I hate
Also,
him.
please
These
don't
aren't-
sue us, anybody.
Those
Yes, please.
those Klingons on his wiener.
Actually they have one long ship.
I'm blaming
It can
you.
carry 150 people.
Right,
So.
Yeah, no, we
Yeah.
will accept the use of that.
Room for
and
furniture. Yay!
The
Don't worry, it's
25
just
per
long ship.
person. How long do we have the inn for? Quick question of DM.
You have like 4 more days, 3 more days.
Okay, so I would like to bring up to his lordship that once the family has
Player's Handbook.
taken possession of their rightful manor,
Mm-hmm.
it would be quite helpful for us and allow us to be nearby should he require our services further, if he could allow us the use of some rooms here in this off-site manor.
This guy just adopted us and he doesn't even know it.
Shh, you'll ruin it.
We said we needed a hideout.
He thinks about it. He's like,
The honeycomb
assuming that you are able to complete this and it's done in a way that meets expectation, I find the main family will move to the island manor until winter becomes too intolerable. Then we'll probably come back to the city itself. Although I assume maybe the house might be also yes, but I'm unsure. But the room is big enough. The house is big enough that it could be something we could look into. Maybe a more formal agreement to make you some sort of attachment to the family as some sort of guards for young Galla or operatives and agents for me and here in Grimsby. This definitely could be an arrangement. Yes.
We just totally mustached Private Eye from the 80s this.
Thank you, Daddy Prince Elfton.
All right.
I hope I don't die.
We're all gonna die.
I'm the only one he's killed in years.
and then Higgins comes out.
No, it's
No.
the
Alright, so
British whatever.
I
can't
think we
say
have an
actual
agreement,
names. That
and
should
I
be a
think
thing.
we should get on it.
Also, definitely any sort of provisioning you might need. Please help yourself to the household stores. My Chamberlain, he will.
I can just see him wilting.
Oh yeah,
on
no, the
back.
Chamberlain. He's like, my Chamberlain will take you to the stores for rations, torches. It seems you all have,
Rope.
I I have a lot of rope.
Yeah, no, we'll
Rope's very
definitely we'll need some extra torches in any event if we're going to be
And-
spending days out there.
Magical
making sure that
weapons.
everything's clear.
Unfortunately, magical weapons are out of.
Yeah, no, don't
But
pay her any.
wineskins full of water or wine, whatever you like. We have a very beautiful beautiful wine cellar here that, you know.
Jade walks over to the Chamberlain and like takes his hand like a little girl and bats her eyelashes at him.
He just kind of gives you the.
She gets on your nerves. Just ignore.
Let's go play.
Follow me, please. Follow me.
As we're exiting, I just take a step like closer to Lord Thistlespire.
And I attempt to immediately lead
You
him
and
away.
I, your hair. What do you use in your hair? Is there a product you use like an elven?
Oh, you gotta
It's a mixture of. It's a thinned.
Do you need help pointing it out?
No.
It's a thin milk and honey mixture
I don't
with
want to live in
a
this plane
slight
anymore.
amount of olive oil. There's an apothecary here in town that makes it. Yeah, definitely.
And then, as I'm
That's a no.
sounds my clinking armor as I'm ready to catch up. It's probably better if you just take it off at this point. I don't know what's going on with those hot.
I don't either.
I'm like, did your Wonder Twin powers activate?
I have no idea what just happened.
You guys never watched E.T.
Oh, sorry.
It was hot when E.T. did it too.
Okay, so you go in. So any kind of like.
Hey, knock it off.
I think I need
My-
to perform this.
Stop it.
All right, so we're gonna stock up on basic
Yeah,
provisions.
any kind of basic equipment, you guys can add on. So
Can they have some people like deliver this to the longship?
oh yeah,
Because like, I want us to stock up on like 10 or 15 torches, but I don't want to be carrying 10 or 15 torches.
You can
Yeah.
actually carry 10 torches pretty easily. It's part of your basic the kit, actually.
I should say 10 or 15 more torches.
yeah.
I
No,
don't want to be
they
carrying.
definitely can if you guys are looking at whatever, you can, they will definitely have stuff delivered to the ship. The
I'm gonna
ship
write these on my spell sheet. I don't need that.
the ship is actually not far from here because there is a harbor for the nobles.
Mark, you're tending to inventory.
Yeah, if anybody has requests, let me know.
Okay, so you're taking torches.
20 torches, 200 feet of rope.
Hammock.
I don't
One
think that's basic.
hammock.
provisioning.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask for it.
Throw another one in.
They the
Two
Chamberlain
apparently
kind of
hammocks.
points over. We have a couple tents.
Yeah.
Tents.
Tents.
Tents are good.
Oh,
Water skins.
How many people can sleep to a tent?
6.
Okay,
Only
so
at least two.
we do like 2 tents. We're guaranteed to cover everybody no matter what.
one for males and one for females.
Any blankets?
Just like a Bible
you think
camp.
So.
It's like Bible.
It'd be just like Bible camp.
Blankets.
Stack of copies
It
of
is
the
gonna be one
Scripture
or
Vidar because you gotta
Oh, I'm
bring-
sorry, I don't see that on the shelf.
Yeah,
we'll be
no.
fine.
Shush.
Jade is climbing the shelves and like finding the cookies and stuff and throwing them at Chase.
No, I didn't say I was handling it.
He's just writing.
I didn't
it
say
down.
I needed you to handle them to throw them at you.
We're making a list. And Mark's checking it twice. He's disgruntled
rations.
Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Gotta find out who's naughty and nice.
We got, what, 6 or 7 people.
Oh,
We've got,
Maya?
call it.
Imagine a roll.
I am just going to call it 25 days.
Provisions.
But that's day per, like,
Yeah.
a day a person, so that would actually be enough for us to get like 3 or 4 days.
Tigger.
Water
Tigger's
skins.
being a jerk.
Dried meat.
That's under rations.
Oh, okay.
Okay, water skins. Anything else like utilitarian people can think of that we might need a bunch of?
Can anybody magically make fire or do we need flint?
I got
have a
twisted
cinder
station.
I have burning hands. I should be
Okay,
able to make
that
some
works.
type of fire.
Not only that, we've all got flint and steel.
Yeah, you all got flint and
I
steel.
don't.
Yes, you do. In your pack.
It's in your basic kit.
Basic kit.
You have
I lost it.
your explorer's pack. You lost your flint and steel.
Well, you see, there was this thing.
We got you.
Don't worry, little
She
one.
tried to use it to play jacks, but she couldn't pick them up.
Thank you, babe.
Every time she did, they made sparks, and eventually it scared her.
Well, that was kind of fun in the beginning, but there's this hair, and yeah. So anyway,
Okay, but anyways, the point is there is flint and steel within the party, so we're covered on fire starting.
cool.
Enough money to hire out a militia.
No,
No. Duh. That's what you guys are.
Yeah, we're done with
Yeah.
militia.
I
Yeah.
would like a warm cloak, please. I really would like a warm cloak. It gets cold at night sometimes, and even though these elves think it's colder than cold, but if it gets cold and I need to be not cold, and I would really like a warm cloak. And I know we got blankets, but we can't always like walk around with blankets on. I mean, we could, but Oren,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
With my mace.
I feel it important to note that while she was asking about a cloak, I wrote down loot sacks.
Good job.
loot sacks are important.
You think of the important things.
Offering plate.
That should be before food.
We'll loot one.
I'm sure there's a church over there for you, buddy.
But seriously, everybody think of anything else that we should make sure we're stocking?
Okay, fine.
So I'm assuming there
Yeah.
are
Like any
remind
loose
us
gold
of
that's
this.
sitting around.
Yeah, the Chamberlain's kind of going through this, and he's getting some other servant people to come through, and all right, take this to the ship. Take that to the ship. Take
Oh,
this
some
to-
servants.
Jade is now laying on top of the shelves.
I'm also gonna stock up on some extra bowstrings, but that's for personal. I'm not sticking that in the group thing.
Yeah.
She's mine.
I thought he came with that.
Do they have clothing, or is it just like provision type stuff?
No, there's like if you guys wanted some cloaks or whatever.
Why I said I wanted a cloak.
Yes.
Yeah, so write it on your sheet.
I'm writing it.
How nice is the clothing?
It's just standard.
Yeah, no,
It's the
nothing
stuff
impressive.
they give their militia,
Oh,
i.e.
And
us.
or their servants.
Not to your
Oh,
standards,
definitely,
Dema.
definitely.
We're not servants. No,
Whatever.
we're not. We're absolutely not.
You're being paid for your service.
Really not.
We're a militia.
Kinda sounds
We're
like a
mercenaries.
Have him
I'm a
call me a
mercenary.
servant.
They
Let's
don't
see what
pay
this
servants.
does. I will derail
They
this
pay
game so
servants. This
fucking
is not
fast.
that.
I am not a servant anymore.
I will.
I'm a servant of
Well,
whichever
okay.
death god
I am a
was was
servant
supposed
of
to
one
write down.
person.
I was like, I've read the backstory.
Edar?
Okay, no, he is not Edor. Edor does not care about your ass.
Edar. Give it life. Life is Edar.
No,
Anyways,
your cock
so I
gives
think
life.
we're ready
Let's
to
get
move
to the
on
dock.
with this.
Dun, 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 dun.
I'd like to kill something.
I'd like to kill
I'm sure. we'll get there.
I heard the A-Team riff, and my first thought was,
Hey, boy.
I ain't getting on no longboat, Hannibal.
Here, have some milk.
Where's the milk?
It's green, and it came from this nipple.
God, I'm gonna
Ew.
sexually pour it all over my mouth and balls.
It's a sack.
Okay, we need to go
And there was this
Hey,
Joker milk.
Back to the Future?
And every time he squeezed the
Back
tip,
to the
he
back.
went like this.
He was a
Jesus
he was
Christ.
just a Joker, man.
Need to go back to the Crown and Scepter. Did we leave anything there?
I mean, yeah, we still live there.
Right, so we need to go back to the Crown and Scepter and get, like, our stuff.
Time for the Jedi.
I mean, I brought what I care about. Yeah, we can go back there real quick.
And then to the boat.
The Chamberlain informs you it's going to take a good half a day or so to get from the harbor to the island. So
Okay, so maybe we want to leave first thing tomorrow morning instead.
that might be a smarter idea.
That's good.
Okay, I'm gonna go find a card game.
Maybe it'd be better if we left a couple hours before sunup.
Yeah, whatever. We can sleep on the boat.
Yes.
I'm
so
saying we could leave
Also,
now and then just anchor offshore
I'm gonna go
and
find
wait for those pirates.
find some nicer clothing, but some nicer adventuring.
Yes.
I have a suit of.
I'm
nice
gonna
clothing,
go
but-
around.
I don't think you should.
If Dema's going shopping, I want to go.
You should go with
Can I
me.
go
Come
shopping
with
with
me.
you, Dema?
We
I
should
can
go
do
shopping.
that.
Yes, I think I
Cool.
should go with you,
You're
and I should help you question people. So that I know you were asking already.
That's exactly what I
Yeah.
I'm gonna go around and ask
I don't know how much
people
nicer clothing costs.
And I'm
for
gonna
information
help
about the
you.
island.
Ooh,
Okay.
you're doing something
No.
helpful.
I'm gonna help
Wow,
you.
your book just fell apart.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
No, it's not new.
It's been like that.
Oh,
Don't
I thought
worry.
it was ours. I was
That's
saying,
mine.
found another
I need to call Wizards and have them replace it. They will.
yeah, they're good about that.
And if they won't do it for me, they'll do it for loot.
So what do you have? What type of clothes do you have now?
I have fine clothes, and I also have Adventure Explorer's pack clothes. Or
Yeah.
Explorer's outfit.
Explorers.
Explorer's outfit was 2 gold, I believe. I don't know what my fine clothes cost, maybe because they're
Fine gold
gifted.
are 15.
Okay, so I'll get a set of warmer fine clothes because my current fine clothes is just like a dress. So
Yeah, let's. So I would think though, since it's more for warm than for finery, so make
Go
it like
for 20.
10. I was gonna say less. Then
oh, okay,
there's less silk involved in a warm, fine clothes.
that's a good point.
So your fine clothes, the warmer fine clothes, which is not as fine as your fine clothes. It's gonna cost you 10 gold pieces.
Sounds good.
In whatever shop the demo's in, while she's looking for clothes, I'm gonna find the silliest hat I can find.
Silly hats. Let's
Silly
see.
hat.
What is the price on a silly hat?
And as we walk by,
Mine's
I
a
look at
black
a
broad
pink
brimmed
ribbon.
hat with a purple
and
feather
then turn
sticking
away.
out.
The
Someday
haberdasher,
Oh, black outfit.
Ooh.
upon seeing you pick up a rather silly hat that fits your head, that will be 5 silver pieces if you would like it.
Silly hat, ridiculous price.
and
Nodding her head.
I go into my cool little bag, my sack, and I give him the appropriate amount of money.
Make it hail. Because it's not paper money in an environment such as
Yeah,
this.
that's totally it too. She takes like one at a time and like chucks it at him. Here, catch.
Into the air.
So it's that would be you hand him a gold piece, he hands you back 5 silver.
Right.
You're going to go investigate information about the island.
Just gonna go ask around.
Give me an investigation check. Well,
That
one of
sounds
you
like
give
a
me
thing I'm not
one of you
good
give me an investigation check, and since you're doing it together, do it with advantage.
What is that? That is wisdom, right?
Intelligence.
Intelligence.
So roll 2 d20s.
Whichever of you has the
D20s.
It's 2d20.
Who has the higher?
whoever of you has a higher investigation check. No, without rolling, who has the higher bonus, and then you'd roll.
I have a
Oh,
higher
here's
bonus.
investigation. I have a 1.
Okay.
Plus 1.
I have the higher bonus.
Okay.
I have a 4.
Okay.
I have a 19.
Okay.
10 warlocks.
So 23.
23. Excellent. So you wander around asking information about Marsh Island, and at a you kind of still when you're asking about it, you two are
Good cop, bad cop.
well, you guys are
Some
wandering
more
around
back
the noble area. You wander into a wine bar. Specifically, they only sell wine and some food, some fruits and cheeses. The
Take
fruit-
a drink out of my flask here.
The fruits are dried
Fancy,
fruits
fancy
as
fruit.
it's getting closer to winter, so getting fresh fruits getting a little harder. And the proprietor, a human woman, she comes over, and I think Pete, you're gonna have to move. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like that.
now you gotta move your car.
Pause, I want to hear.
Yeah, no, I gotta move forward.
I'm gonna go shopping for miscellaneous items I
Okay.
need to pick up.
Okay. Denna's buying fine clothes.
Juliet.
Chase is with Jade, and Chase is looking for a card game.
We are taking a nice silent break in memorial to snoring. The doors open, the dogs walk, the people bark.
Okay, we don't need narrating.
It's one of those weeks. What else would I do? How much do magical items start at?
Consumable, like it's really hard to purchase magic items.
Oh, so I can't just buy a +1 Warhammer?
No, it's not. It's not like last edition where you could just walk into the store and purchase a.
Gotta go to my local temple and be like, "Hey, I'm going on a quest. Could y'all give me some
Lessons?
Guess not.
Here you are.
Yeah, no, it's sort of one of those. So common magic items, like they start around 50 to 100 gold pieces.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, but common items are
self-stirring teaspoons.
I want one of those.
Like potions of healing, spell scrolls of cantrips, like up to second level scrolls. But a lot of the potions kind of fall on that. Some wondrous items, but it's the real thing is that they aren't. It's not like everywhere you walk in. You're gonna if you want to buy like a potion of healing, it's gonna put you back 50 gold pieces.
We should probably get a couple of those.
Now.
Feel free. I'm a ranged fighter.
I don't have that. I'm a ranged fighter too.
Well, then why do you
But
need a
I'm
potion
little.
of healing?
It hurts.
Our face tank can heal himself.
Good.
Don't worry, I'll say it again when he's here.
I just like that face tank. Is it
He
because
tanks with his face.
I was gonna say exactly because he tanks with his face.
Yes.
Would you really want to call him a head tank?
Which card needed to move?
Pete's.
Because
Okay,
Pete,
not the van, huh?
No, it was
Okay.
Jeremy's car. Jeremy's.
Did somebody park behind the van? Did I steal somebody's space?
No.
No, you're fine.
Cool. I know you guys have like a bunch of cars here now, so.
Jason's at work. Jeremy's going to work.
Hi.
My car is
Maya.
spending overnight at other places.
Maya.
He has a sleepover.
Normally I don't mind you.
Maya.
Why is shit so expensive?
You're crawling on top of me.
They're
Very
shopping.
affectionate.
Yeah,
Who's buying?
I was serious about finding a card game, by the way.
I understand. Why don't we take care of that while Pete's...
Sure.
Okay, so you are finding a card game, trying to make a little scratch?
I mean, I chatted a little bit with the card players yesterday, so
So they don't want you
I'm
anywhere near their
presuming-
game today.
I'm presuming that some amount of gossip before I started winning involved where the games are on different days of the
Oh,
week.
yeah. You know.
So I'm not looking for anything where I'm going to have to spend 12 hours playing, but just, get in for a few hands, spend,
Maya, no.
pick up some of the street gossip while I play, and then head back to the Crown Scepter and meet up with everybody because they had that gleam of
Okay, so you're
gold
not...
burning holes.
Yeah, so you're not actually going to for the playing, you're going to kind of get some information.
Well, yeah, but I'm still going to play.
No.
I'm a card player.
You walk and chew gum.
So
Oh, so you see it in my bag, huh?
give me like a charisma with your proficiency with your cards.
Okay, and remind me again because I never see it actually written. I know I've got the gaming set,
So,
So I just get
proficiency is your +2.
plus 2
plus
with
your-
my charisma.
Yep.
Oh, that was a 6.
Yeah, you're not catching cards today. You're the hands aren't
Oh,
going.
that wasn't for the chatting?
Well, that's kind of your first couple hands. You're not doing so good. You're playing an honest game at this moment.
Yeah, but I would have assumed that would have been an insight.
No,
All right.
Good job.
no, you're at this point you're just kind of
Yeah, no, fair enough.
and you're just just enjoying the game, but you're not. Fortune is not smiling on you right now.
Fair enough. How much does it set me back?
You end up like down 10 silver. It's nothing big.
Okay.
Because
that's not terrible.
you said you weren't looking to play the big game, so
I am going to end up... it's base 10 with Electrum
Yeah.
in the middle, right?
yeah.
So
So
I would
gold
have
piece
to...
is 10 silver.
Oh, I thought Electrum was in the middle of that.
There is a
It's 5 electrum, 2 gold, 10 silver.
Oh,
two
okay,
gold.
gotcha.
yeah.
So I'm down around 10 silver, which basically means I'm down a gold.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so back over to the twins here.
Oh, I do want to convert gold into platinum before we go.
Oh, the twins.
So you guys go
That's not a big
investigating,
deal.
and like I said, you ended up in a noble area wine bar. The hostess, as she's bringing you over different bottles for you to investigate whether or not you want to.
Every time she looks away, I'm sipping on that glass.
So this one is from the Imperial
I can see it
Age.
because of my limited vision.
You actually have your helmet on.
Yeah.
Always.
I'm wearing it.
How do you
Dream walk through a straw.
Which is made out of bamboo because it doesn't have plastic.
He's not laughing in the slightest about it.
They have wood straws and metal straws. It could happen.
So
I own them.
She holds a.
I think we broke
He
it
is
up.
serious as could be.
She's holding it. It's like, and this is from the Imperial Age, from the south, from the Elven coast. Very fine. It's 100 gold pieces for a bottle, but we can split so that you can. We'll say 15 gold pieces a glass. Interested?
So the people of Marsh Island.
Oh yes. Let me put this away then, since maybe I get something a little more.
I feel like I'm so close to having him just scream out, "Woman! The information wastes not my time!"
Calm down. Look, we just stopped him for some information.
Yeah, like he clearly has a tone, but I'm holding him back. He's holding him.
She moves
sorry
the
for
dried
my
fruit
friend.
and cheese away.
I'm sorry for my friend. We'll leave your establishment in peace and quiet. And
Well,
I'll take him with me, and he will no longer cause a scene.
good.
We're just looking for information on the
Well,
island.
the Marsh family.
Crossing his arms.
The Marsh family were the protectors of the harbor up until they were removed. It's said that none of the family actually left the island. That the king's
He's definitely leaning in.
and
She's got his attention.
She leans in. It's said that a longship carrying about 100 of the king's men was sailed out to the island, and they came back a day or so later. None of the Marsh family with them. Some of the house guards did come back with them, but
You don't know any of their names, do you? Where they live?
they were house guards. Who knows?
Hmm.
They don't live here in the noble district. They're probably turned to sellswords or mercenaries of some sort. Not.
If they've turned into ghost pirates, Lilith is going to be so excited.
Mom's drinking some butt chuck.
But yeah, that's the word we heard, is that none of the Marsh family came back from when the Kingsmen went out there.
Like maybe they were in like a bad cult?
I'll take my friend with me. He's the
They
leader.
they were not a cult, but remember they were.
Maybe they were sacrificed to the god of death. Vixis is the evil one.
Okay, Vixis is the god of treachery, not the god of death.
Whatever.
He
That's Lemgir.
The
Some-
evil. Evil.
Oh, so Lemgir's the god of death.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's not documentation I gave you. God of
Yes.
death and undeath.
Oh, we're supposed to read that?
I read like the important part about it.
Best players
He
ever.
doesn't
Aren't we
write
awesome?
it for us not to read people. Come on, man.
So I really did plan on reading it, but life.
I do all his papers.
I read it
I do his homework.
too
He
many
really
letters.
does.
I read the Cliff's Notes.
I did his homework too.
I'd have forgotten it anyway.
I know.
I did Arian's too. I'm sorry.
I could have read it this morning and forgot it. It's because my brain just doesn't work.
Sounds like something hanky.
Why the hell did I keep 2-5 suited?
Okay,
Over that straight cholesterol.
we gotta go back and get the others.
Do you know anyone who might know more?
Maybe the Barrows. They were close to the marshes, but it's a bit of a touchy subject with them.
Fuck it, I still eat chance. Let's go
We're
to
gonna
the
go. We're
Barrows.
definitely going to talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know, we won't bring it up. It'll be fun. And we definitely won't tell them you sent us.
Oh, yeah.
We're totally gonna tell them you said it.
And then I go,
But you
But you can't
see.
see.
with the wrong. Sorry.
I was you're ringing with the wrong
Also,
eye.
you're wearing your helmet.
You're wearing
she
your
can't
helmet,
see
she
it.
can't see
Maybe
you.
you can see my eyes. I mean, if
No.
I can see out, she can see my eyes.
No,
Doesn't work that way.
doesn't work that way.
Then I
Yeah.
definitely wink. But I guess you also don't know. No one knows.
I
I know
know.
I wink.
I know. I know everything. I know.
Okay, so you guys, you
Just
two are
like
going
Andor
to.
doesn't love
You guys are going to go try to find the
Andor, whatever the fuck his name is.
Edar.
He don't love you.
Knows us all.
Does not.
So you two are going to go try to find the Barrows
Oh yes,
townhouse.
without a doubt.
Okay.
Yes,
Both of you give me investigation checks.
That's not even a 20. That's 12.
That would definitely not work.
22.
22.
14.
Okay. It doesn't take long for you to find the townhouse of the Barrows. If you can kind of notice some of the houses in the noble district, the townhouses look newer, and some of them look older. The Barrows are in the section of the older, maybe even a little bit nicer townhouses.
Before we go into the Barrows townhouse, though, we knock on the neighbor's door to ask them what they think of the Barrows.
You know, there's like guards at gates. There's not doors. It's
The guards. We ask the guards. So how about those?
okay. So you go to the neighbor. The two humans standing there in their livery. Looks like halberds at the ready.
We're here on official business.
Official business of who?
Of the church.
Do you have something to show? Paperwork?
Does he
of
not
this?
look? Does not he look like he's from the church? He's come to ask questions from the church, from God himself.
You do remember we are a polytheistic society, so there's
Yes.
not one chief
I
god.
understand
Nobody.
that.
I only
has-
recognize one of them.
But he recognizes one of them, and he's come to ask.
Oh, he
questions.
belongs to that group.
The church.
The
Yeah.
But he's just
Our
come to
family
ask
does not
questions.
participate in that
Right.
branch.
No,
so
but he does understand it. But he's asking about the neighbors next door. He
This
wants
doesn't
know
need to
about-
be about you.
He's not talking about you. He wants to know about your neighbors next door.
It can be about you.
the Barrows,
Yeah. What do they believe? What kind
They're-
of people are they?
they revere all the gods as does any citizen.
Yeah. Are they upstanding citizens?
They're one of the oldest
Raises the
families in
mask.
Grimsby.
I'm playing cards.
Sorry.
Are
They're
they
one of the
upstanding?
oldest families in Grimsby. They've been part of the kingdom since before it was a kingdom.
So they're ancient, back to like when the city was first built.
Yes, it was the Barrows, the Marshes.
So they weren't like the founding.
They were
father?
among the founding families of the city. The Barrows and the Marshes. That's why the
So that's why they're real pissed about the marshes, huh?
well, anytime a noble family is excoriated.
Yeah, I can
it's-
imagine. That's big business there.
Well, I have lots of friends who lost their jobs.
Yeah, that's not right being put out of business like that.
But the Barrows, they've never, they're upstanding. They've supported the king and the whole peace talks thing.
Yeah, peace is good.
Well, unless
I'm
your
all for peace.
family runs the mercenaries like the Marshes did.
Well, that's not right. Mercenaries are just bad people.
Well, mercenaries are what protected the city from the attacker. So the mercenaries they're not terrible people. They just,
Depends on who they fight for, though.
well, that's the point. They
That is. It depends on who employs them. Obviously, the marshes were not employing
Sounds
the
like the-
mercenaries.
well, no, they were. They just the king was not in favor of using them to wipe out our enemies. Instead, he wanted to make peace and.
Good news for the Barrows, huh?
You're a strange little man.
Yes, he is. Excuse me.
The Barrows.
Wait, is he a little man? Does he have a Napoleon love?
No, he was just given to the church because he's a lot of people.
That would be really funny.
The Barrows. I think their main interest is they have some mining rights out in the hinterlands, and I think they have some interest in the different smithies around the city. So either way, it didn't really affect them. They were going to continue with their wealth, but
They
no,
have no interest in the harbor or the island or anything like that.
no. Other than Lord Barrow, it's. Lord Barrow is supposedly related to the Marsh family through, great grandma, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, when the family got excoriated, there was some thought that the Marshes might, or the Barrows might
Inherit. whatever.
try to make a claim to the Marsh holdings.
Right, that's their right.
But His Majesty felt differently, and the king is the king. So
That's true. He is the king. It's good to be king.
Yes, definitely. But the Barrows seem to take in stride, although I understand young Lord Lance is kind of not taken well to the Thistlespires, but he's...
Shame when boys can't get along.
well, Lord Lance kind of looks around. Oh, yeah. Anyone should say Lord Lance is a little bit of a bully and has been for years. Very rarely faces any consequences for his actions, and is always ready to cry to his father that some sort of misdeed has been done to him. But more times than not, it's consequences for his own action.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time. You've been very helpful, sir.
You're very welcome. Now,
Okay. All right. I'm taking him with me. Come
The
on.
god of life.
No. Bye.
Shine.
so, all right. So everyone's kind of doing their thing and heading back to...
Yeah, like I said, after a few hours, I'm gonna head back to the inn and meet up with
Okay.
everybody.
Everybody heading back to the Crown and Scepter.
Yep, I'm home packing.
Brave for them. Ghost pirates, zombie pirates, skeleton pirates.
That's why he bought a crowbar.
I'll do a
Sheep.
set or two downstairs with my lute and singing
Okay.
and making everybody happy.
You're running around with your new silly hat.
I'm dancing to Dama's singing with my silly hat. I have 2 silly hats. I bought 2 silly hats.
You bought 2 silly
I
hats?
bought 2 silly
Now I'm
hats.
meditating.
What does your silly hats look like?
One like that.
It's like an Egyptian.
Well, it's supposed to be like a cap, but like a double-ended cap with the tassels on the bottom.
like a jester's.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the other one's like a top hat with like feathers and flowers and scarves.
And an inexplicable propeller.
Drawing.
Okay. Which one are you wearing while you are dancing here?
The jester's cap.
Okay. But you're gonna say both for a moment. Now just like how?
I might.
Top hat first and the jester's over it.
Mm-hmm.
See, I was
That would
Or
cover the
jester
propeller.
first and then top hat over.
yeah,
Not
'cause you wouldn't
so
want to. You
feeble.
wouldn't want to bend.
You don't want to bend
Feathers
it.
and stuff,
You don't
yeah.
want to block the propeller.
Oh, I thought the propeller was on the
No.
I put the propeller on the top hat.
That's where it was.
sensible.
You,
Just
sir.
Jay said so.
You're.
Well, we're between.
You guys are returning. Were you guys going to go to the Barrows, or were you returning back to the inn?
No, we're turning back to the end.
Okay.
I like those barrows.
Oh,
Did you
I
find
that
out
one who
that-
hit me in the
realized
head?
I didn't
The Lance
describe
Arrow.
Lance the
Sorry.
last
Yeah, I
time
forgot
we
about
played.
Okay.
He's kind of like. I
see that
physically,
guy.
I thought of him looking
But he
like.
got what he deserved.
Ben Affleck from Dazed
We
and
brought him
Confused.
back.
No, Johnny
Hopefully he saw the
from
light on the
Karate
other side.
Kid.
Ah, see,
Without
yeah.
the-
See,
kinda saw
I
that
was
too.
going to ask you just how
Because
many
they
of
don't
his
really
collars
care.
are popped.
I'd say you
He definitely
live
is
here.
rocking a very high popped collar, but
So lower.
his tunic does say
Yeah.
My life giver?
what?
No.
Cobra Kai.
What's the that brand that?
I can't
Yeah.
remember.
Polo, Rocco.
No. I was going with more with the
Members only.
God,
members
you're
only
old.
cloak.
You're so old.
Ooh.
He's the only member.
No, him and his thugs had members only cloaks as well.
telling you, when I worked at McFatter, I worked with a dude who wore members only jacket, and I asked him, I said, "Are you the last member?"
Okay, so evening comes. Denna is playing. Jade is dancing. Weird as that
Chase
how
is
they
now
work.
involved in another card game just here at the Crown and Scepter.
Yeah, you're finding the crowd here is like they're tight. Like 5 coppers is as much as they're willing.
No, it's fine. Whatever. It's
You
just,
just pass the
again,
time.
it's social. It's digging for information.
Yeah.
My
So
goal
Chase,
at the
we need
Crown
to
and
talk.
Scepter is to break even and maybe even occasionally lose a few coppers to them because I want the people at my house to like me and be friendly and tell me stuff.
so
Chase, we need to talk.
Apparently, I'm doing that.
the couple. Oh man, you're up a couple copper. You're just gonna walk. Oh, that's not fair. Oh, God.
I'll be back. My luck can't stay good forever. Just keep my seat for me.
All right.
As soon as we walk away, you see, I did what you told me to. I waited until I saw you were up, and then I said we didn't talk.
I appreciate it.
So we need to talk about your soul.
Okay, so here's the thing.
I'm drinking.
I appreciate that, but I heard that you guys went down by the Barrows house today,
Oh, that too. That was the other thing. I knew there was two things.
and I'm more interested in that, seeing as the Barrows kid is the one we almost killed last night.
Well, how did you get on? Did you want to talk?
So, we went to this wine bar, and it was quite expensive. And the scullery wench who worked there said that the Marshes were friends with the Barrows.
Is that right, Bill? Okay. And there's nothing that maybe hinted that we already knew this when the Barrows boy last night was trying to kick the shit out of Galla because his family replaced the Marshes?
It turns out the Marshes and Barrows founded the town, basically. And that
Okay.
the Marshes were married with the Barrows. And the Barrows had rights, basically, to the Marshes' land.
Okay.
And that's why they're so fucking pissed off.
So...
Also, the king sent some soldiers over.
King sent some soldiers over there.
To the house?
No,
Today?
to clear off the island of the Marshes. But they never came back with any Marshes. So either they slaughtered the Marshes,
Or they're ghost pirates.
or the Marshes stayed.
Do me a favor, don't
and is-
say that in the group. I can't... No. I know.
I feel like just the fact that I said those words, wherever you were, your ears were like, what?
Ghost pirates.
So
I really was
basically
gonna yell
what
that
you're telling
downstairs.
me is
Ghost
that
pirates!
we really...
Just hear from the stairway.
This is excellent news, you guys.
Right?
I was worried there wasn't going to be enough to loot, but if there's rich people there,
There seems
this is
to
going to be great.
There's either rich people there or there's dead rich people that were there.
Either way, this is great. This is phenomenal. Not only that, I know a ranger from out of town who would love more bones to craft things with.
I swear to God, I was going to be like, she was going to contact their old shipmate who had a goblin backpack and pull. I really.
So is it canon? This is
So
the same
thank
world.
you.
Is that what we're doing?
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
of
you
course it
very
is.
much
Just a
for
different
us
continent.
having the big balls to go
Okay.
knock on that door.
Okay. I hadn't intended it to be, but let her.
I mean, whatever. I'm just glad you guys didn't get murdered.
We weren't gonna get murdered.
No, there's
Life
a
is on
really
our
good
side.
chance you were going to get murdered.
Yeah, you
Trust
knocked on
me.
that door.
I wasn't getting murdered.
Look,
If
you
Lance
see
is
the
the one
ding?
who answers
I
that door
haven't
instead
gotten
of
murdered
whoever
yet.
did answer the door, it's a really good chance you guys get murdered.
I was gonna get murdered.
Okay.
He might have got murdered. I wasn't.
Oh no, he might get murdered walking down the street.
He might trip and murder himself.
I
Look,
just kind
it's
of
nothing
quietly go
against
like
you.
this
You
against
just
the ding in my helmet.
right. Not to mention, you keep trying to catch arrows with your chest cavity.
I'm still alive because
You touch yourself. We know.
gods. That's my life bringer.
Alrighty, let's all get
Okay,
to
I
bed
don't
so we
want-
can
I
get
don't
on the
know.
boat in the
Bed.
Go
morning.
take a shower right now.
I am going to excuse
And then
myself
come
to bed because
I'm gonna start calling her mom.
we're done here. You're born.
Go.
Alrighty, so it's the next morning. We're
I'm
on our way to
drinking.
the boat.
How are we doing for time?
It is about 20 till 10.
Okay. When do we want to cut off at?
I figure our normal cutoff.
Our normal cutoff is around 10.
But I mean, if we're between scenes at this point, then it's a good cutoff,
Yeah.
and we're not going to hit a good cutoff if we
Yeah.
keep going.
Let's do cut off
That's
here.
what I'm thinking.
I'll
So
cut
we'll
off
cut off
more
here.
than anyway.
So, in the spirit of fifth edition, you all are now second level. So level up your characters for next session.
Thanks for this new character sheet right in time for it to all change.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, just email.
That's totally what I'm getting
Send
ready
me
to be
the
on.
changes,
It's so much easier.
and I'll fix the character sheet so you can read it next
Does
time.
that kind of work how Cryodex used to, or not Cryo? What was the one we used to use?
Yeah.
So Pete, we've decided that you gotta take us out with the 30s voice every.
Oh yeah, we did talk
Yes.
about that last time
Yes.
too. And so it is that our intrepid adventurers learn more about the history of the city and get ready to ride a pinnace into battle. Join us next time. Thank you and good night.
Hope you enjoyed that episode of Not Safe for Wizards. If you did, there's a couple things we'd love to ask you to do. One, you can follow us on social media. All of our links are down in the show notes. Two, go to Apple Podcasts and leave us a review. 5 stars would be great, but I'll leave that up to you. And 3, share us with your friends. Let them know about our podcast. Have a great rest of your day. Hi, thanks for listening to that episode of Not Safe for Wizards here on YouTube. If you would, give us a thumbs up for a like, hit that subscribe button, and of course hit the notifications bell. That way you'll always know when Not Safe for Wizards is putting up a new episode. Thanks.